Hey. Don't be alarmed, listener. I've noticed your performance in the office has been stellar. There's been no complaints towards you, and you get along with your coworkers quite well. I just wanted to talk to you about a few things after your shift. In private. Meet me in my office. I'll be waiting. Good evening, darling. How was your work today? That's nice to hear. There's no need to stand there. Come, sit. Do you feel comfortable in here, in this room with me? Disregarding the fact that you seemed a little worried to actually step foot into my office, there's no specific reason I ask. Depending on your answer, however, the conversation will change. You are quite amusing. No wonder you're the talk of the office. You didn't know? You're not considered a new hire anymore. You're 6 months past that. However, you have a few personal achievements that your fellow coworkers and your superiors can't help but notice. Your performance is ranked at the top, along with the fact that you're adaptable and able to get along with almost everyone. There isn't anyone that you truly butt heads with in the office, which is commendable in itself. Is it really that surprising? I'm aware of your job background. I'm the one that interviewed and hired you, after all. I knew that you would be a great asset to this company, but I didn't think that you would bring me such a raise in company profit. For that, I'm glad that I hired you. You're welcome. Anyway, let's get down to business. I have a proposal for you. It's beneficial for us both, and I think that you are the perfect fit for it. As the CEO of this company, I have a lot that I oversee. From appointments to interviews, conference meetings, managing employees and future company decisions. I have a lot that I manage on a day-to-day basis. I had an assistant. They helped me out with a lot of my errands and took some of the heavy workload so that I'm not overwhelmed. They were great at their job, but things had to end. They had a change in heart and decided to work at another company that suited them better. No, it was completely their own decision. I'm not here to hold you hostage. With that decision, however, I'm now without an assistant. And for a few months, I was doing a lot on my own. I wanted to find a new assistant that could do the same job, but I'd rather offer it to one of my employees than someone outside the company. And while I would offer it to one of my longer-term employees, they don't have the work ethic like you do. They don't have the charisma like you. They don't have the charm that you do. So, listener, I offer to you this position. Be my personal assistant. You'll get a lot of new benefits with this promotion. Better pay, personal parking, your own office, the company car, even the key to my office. Yes, as a personal assistant, you will have errands to do for me. But some of these errands require you to step into my office, which is always locked. You'll have to grab certain paperwork or speak with me about private things, and with that, I'd rather you have a key than knock every time you enter. You won't have to worry about barging in on anything important. As a personal assistant, you'll have my schedule after all. You'll know when to enter my office and when to not. So, will you accept my offer? Perfect. Well, we'll start the transfer from your cubicle to your office in the span of this week. By next Monday, everything will be ready for you so that this can be a smooth transition. I'll also require that you change your attire. I'll provide anything you need so you don't have to worry about anything. However, as my personal assistant, you will have to present yourself a certain way. And while I like your business casual wear, as someone who will almost always be present with me during my meetings, I will need you to have a more professional appearance. Since you are such a beautiful young woman, I'll need you to wear a nice blouse with a black skirt and some comfy but sleek flats. That's what's expected of anyone that is my personal assistant. Plus, I think with your frame, it would suit you nicely, my dear. Oh, darling, I'm not hitting on you. It's not weird to compliment someone. You're pretty, you have an air of confidence, and you seem to have an amazing personality. It's hard not to compliment. I wasn't going to bring this up, but while I treat my employees with respect and kindness, I treat my personal assistant with a little more attention. I don't actually, not in particular, but I can tell that you fancy me, darling. It's a little too obvious. While you've tried to keep things under wraps, I can tell that you can't stop taking your eyes off me. You won't stop glancing at my breasts, and from time to time, you seem to constantly rock in your chair. Tell me, darling, did you really think this wouldn't come to my attention? Silent, huh? That's okay. It's difficult to be confronted with something you attempted to keep hidden. But secrets don't always stay hidden. In fact, I might as well come clean too. While you're an all-around fantastic employee, there's more reason than that being why I chose you to be my assistant. You see, my last personal assistant and I had a contract. I paid her more for her services in the office and for other personal matters. While she was good at her job, she was also good at being obedient and submissive. Something tells me that you'll be able to fulfill that role quite well. Don't look so afraid, dear. It seems that there's something worrying you. I'm not scary, am I? Lean back and look at me. Good girl. You didn't even think about it. Is it because I'm your superior? Or is it because there's an attraction between us? Now, I'm not usually one to mix work and home life together, but there were times where it was inevitable with my sub. She was obedient, but to a certain degree. And with disobedience comes punishment. Of course, the punishment isn't something that you wouldn't enjoy, and with the way you're able to endure stressful situations, I think you can handle some of my more harsh punishments. Well, depending on the issues, it can be something simple like having to do just a little more paperwork, or running to do one of my personal errands, to doing things that will test your limits. I might have you do things like wear a vibrator for the first 2 hours of your shift, satisfy yourself blindfolded in front of me, or even satisfy me under my desk. Of course, while there are punishments, there are also rewards. You'll get treated to nice things, be praised, receive pampering. You'll be treated like my little princess. Isn't that something of interest to you? I'd be surprised if you had refused. While you're not in any trouble, I also have incriminating footage of you from last weekend. My. I think we're both on the same page. You know exactly what I'm talking about. I didn't think our company's Miss Goody Two-Shoes would be trespassing in restricted areas and doing such naughty things. If this was under normal conditions, you would have definitely been fired. Goodness, I thought it was quite clear. I like you, listener, a lot. Your character intrigued me enough to where I want to personally have you work for me. You'd be perfect at your job as a personal assistant, and as my submissive. It's okay to be flustered. Every time I offer this to someone, they tend to become a little flushed. But don't worry, it's not like I will do such acts often. Well, the really inappropriate ones, anyway. With how you carry yourself during work, just expect a lot of praise and physical rewards. Maybe even sexual acts in private, if you've done really well. But like I said, I don't do that often. Unless that is something you'd prefer. I figured you would say something along those lines. So, I'm guessing you'll accept my offer then. That's great. I can already tell that things will be interesting from now on. Before you leave, though, I will let you know that with being my submissive, regardless of gender, you have to wear this. Well, you're already well aware that my office building is more lax when it comes to work attire. And while you do have to wear professional attire from now on, I do find jewelry such as necklaces and earrings acceptable. This choker, while it is more so a casual attire, is more so a gift and something that I require my submissives to wear. If I find that you come into this building without it, which won't be difficult, you will be subjected to whatever punishment I see fit. Oh, you're such a charmer. I don't see why you would try and sue me for something like this. You were talking about how much you liked this office not too long ago. You also were talking about how you wished that you could get a promotion. And after seeing you commit such naughty acts in a restricted area, it's clear that you want a little more sexual satisfaction in your life. This is the perfect opportunity for what you want, is it not? This is something that we both would benefit from, dear. You wouldn't do anything like that with me, would you, dear? I thought so. Tomorrow morning, you will report to me back in my office. I will hand you all the keys you need. That includes the office keys and the car keys. During that time, we can discuss any other questions you may have while I explain your new role in more detail. I hope you have a wonderful evening, dear. Rest well and make sure you have a good breakfast. Tomorrow will be a long but exciting new day. You are dismissed.